Some, however, not understanding how God can cause a movement of the will in us without prejudicing the freedom of the will, were compelled to explain these authorities badly. Namely, that they would say that God causes in us to will and accomplish, inasmuch as he causes in us the power to will, but not so that he causes us to will this or that, as Origen explains in De Principiis 3, defending free will against the aforesaid authorities. And from this it seems to have proceeded the opinion of some who said that providence is not about those things which are subject to free will, that is, about choices, but providence refers to external events. For he who chooses to achieve or complete something, say to build or become rich, will not always be able to achieve this, and thus the results of our actions are not subject to free will, but are arranged by providence. Indeed, it is evidently resisted by the authorities of the Holy Scriptures, for it is said in Isaiah 26:12, "You have worked in us, Lord, all our works." Hence we have not only the power of willing from God, but also the operation. In addition, this very thing that Solomon says, he turns it wherever he wills, shows not only the divine causality of extending the power of the will, but also to the act of it. Again, God not only gives virtues to things, but also no thing can act by virtue of its own, unless it acts by his own virtue, as was shown above. Therefore man cannot use the power of will given to him except in so far as he acts in the power of God. Now that in virtue of which the agent acts is the cause not only of the virtue, but also of the act. That which appears in the artist, in whose power the instrument acts, even though it did not receive its own form from this artist, but is only applied to the act by him. Therefore, God is the cause for us not only of will, but also of willing. Further, order is found more perfectly in the spiritual than in the corporeal. But in corporeal things, every movement is caused by a first movement. It is therefore necessary that even in spiritual things, every movement of the will is caused by the first will, which is the will of God. Still, it has been shown above that God is the cause of all action and works in every agent. It is therefore the cause of the movements of the will. Again, Aristotle argues for this in 8 of the Eudemian Ethics in this way. For something to be understood and planned and chosen and willed, there must be some cause, for every new thing must have some cause. But if the cause of it is another plan and another preceding will, since it is not possible to proceed in these things ad infinitum, it must come to something first. But the first thing of this kind must be something which is better in reason. But there is nothing better in understanding and reason than God. God is therefore the first principle of our plans and wills.